Hello everyone, how's it going? I will address you as the BC vinyl community. Indeed, that is where I start. I'm wearing this Catherine Wheel t-shirt that was given to me a while ago by my friend Scott Martin. Finally wearing it for the first time. Thank you so much, Scott. You've been so kind to me. I have NPR on Point with Tom Ashbrook, and I'm going to turn it off, but I thought that I would start with that to illustrate partially why social concerns come up in my videos and why I will choose topics like I do, like with my last video to talk about. I'm going to talk about music here, but I want to say that from my perspective, one of the reasons why I add my voice or just say what I say is because when I listen to the media, the mainstream media worldwide, I hear talk but no solutions. The thing that angers me about, in particular, On Point with Tom Ashbrook, is the show is topical, but from my point of view, the conversation that is offered is merely for entertainment, no real solutions. People aren't talking to me real solutions. This morning they were going on about the statistics in America of about how in America people have killed more on the streets than we have in wars, and how that leads to the discussion of gun control, which in my opinion is completely missing the point. That is not even a solution. This morning a caller called in, and I thought that where he wanted to take the conversation was more realistic, which they wouldn't go. He's saying, let's look at why, the why of why the killing is going on, rather than talking about regulation and new laws which don't work. Those aren't the solutions. So I bring these things up because in my mind I look at the world and it just looks kind of dumb to me, or just like everyone is still focused on well, I got to get paid, so I'm going to do my job, and so therefore everything is people aren't talking real solutions. So that's why I say what I say. And I still get grief for it, like the last video and conversation after I went back to that, I had a person who I think I know, but he won't use his real name, misconstrued what I was talking about, and, tried to have a problem when all it was problems in their thinking. I'm very clear about what message I'm giving out. So it's part of I guess that's part of the problem and risk of, being so topical and direct, because all we can do is respond to one another from our own mental framework, and we're not all on the same page. Anyway, I talked for several minutes and haven't said anything about music, piggybacking on my last video. It's why I do what I do, Am I neurotic? Well, yeah, I don't know how I could be expected to be quote-unquote normal as a, minority in America. I'm not even normal black, whatever that is, What I will share musically this video is that John Dawson, who is another VC member, and I thank you, John. Just out of the blue, John continues to send me these packages. They're like care packages, and I'm not asking for them. Matter of fact, I kind of thought a while ago that this would stop because of some of my comments, because I'm honest, But he sent me another package of music and music-related items, and I'll show you some of it because I haven't gone through all of it. Thank you, John Dawson. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He sent me, and I've already enjoyed most of this. I saw this tour, but Peter Gabriel's New Blood, live in London. He sent me the DVD. Brand new. It was sealed, so I got to open the damn thing and as if I had bought it myself. Really appreciate this, John. Yes, Peter Gabriel has been a very important musical figure in my life. And when I was younger, before I had a lot more of perspective, he was a bit of a role model to me, and as time goes on and you see the humanness of people, he's still someone that I respect and admire. But I'm glad that I got to the point where it was like I don't need to be making role models out of public figures like this. They're human like me. So I learned a lot from that, taking him off of the pedestal, as it were. I think that's what I'm saying. It's really unwise to place people on pedestals. Anyone, me, anyone. He also sent me this book by Chris Welch, The Complete Guide to Their Music Genesis, which, thank you, I appreciate it. There is some information in here which I needed. Mostly what it is it's Chris Welch, who's a longtime Genesis fan and writer in England, gives you his perspective on their music, which I think is valid, especially as an Englishman. The band is very English, and so there's little things about the way he describes their songs and the music and their movement from album to album that I think it can be enlightening to some. So I really enjoyed this book, and I've read, I just got it, and I've already, I've just really, I read almost all of it already. I am a big fan of this band, and the book caused me to go back to listen to And Genesis to Revelation again, their very first album, which I personally love and loved even more. Every time I hear it, it's like, this album is wonderful. He sent me some other things. These Pink Floyd, I guess you could call them postcards or advertisements, for the Division Bell 20th anniversary, which I appreciate. These are very cool. He gave me a few, so if I ever get any more record orders, some of these will go in as just extras for folks that order. If anyone buys any more of my records, and I do still have records for sale, and there's a lot of you folks that still don't have any of my music, so check me out and buy my music. Keep me online, He sent several CDs, one album. I think I don't know that the album was really well. I think so. I think he sent the album to me on purpose. It's a Herbie Mann album, which again, the way that Herbie Mann approached his music after a while was just so safe and boring that it's like, I'm just not going to listen to this. I did play it. Tony Levin and Rick Marotta are on here, who played with Peter Gabriel for years. I think that might be why, John, you sent this to me. But again, this is an idea of the type of record that is just crap to me. Of course, there's musicianship and everything involved here, but I don't care. I like that exotic shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? This is run of the mill. It's not a criticism, It's like, it's interesting how I form these relationships with people who I've never met online, and they have certain aspects to it. And so there's this aspect of my relationship with John that he sends me stuff. He sends me stuff that I like, but he also sends me stuff that it's like, I'll be wondering, why did he send me this? And it continues. And it's the difference between us as people. If I could ever meet him in person and have a one-to-one talk, me talking like this would probably go away. But I've never met the man, so I don't know what's going on. So I have to respond honestly from, how it hits me, the stuff that he sends me and how I feel about it. No insult intended. It is just how I speak. I am a human. I'm not perfect. He sent me one of the CDs that come with Prog magazine, Prognosis. Number 6. I haven't played this yet. I haven't played these yet. Jeremy, Glow in the Dark. It has nice graphics. So hopefully there'll be something nice on this. It has, space. That's promising. He sent me some download cards too, Tycho and something else. Thank you, John. I feel the love and friendship. I really do. Thank you. Charlatans. He sent me a Charlatan CD. I'll give this a listen. I never cared for the Charlatans. They were too R&B trying to sound to me of the English bands. I definitely like our English rock when they stopped trying to pretend to be black. And the Charlatans were one of those kind of bands where they're, that baggy sound. It was like they were good, but it was like that's not what I'm looking for. So I haven't played this yet, but thank you. here, these are friends of his, and this is good. The Lovely Intangibles. It's got kind of a... I listened to this one as well as the next one I'll show. A bit of a shoegaze approach, atmospheric guitars, female vocals. The setting of the music is very nice, and I'll recommend this. I think there are some VC members who will dig this. The Lovely Intangibles. I think of Vijay Prabhubadas. I think I'm saying your name right. Vijay is someone who interact with quite a bit on Facebook, and he buys a lot of what appears to be drone, shoegaze, and atmospheric rock. And I think that you would like this, The Lovely Intangibles. He also sent me CD version of, is it Volta by Bjork. And I'd never had the entire album, so now I have the entire album on CD. I love Bjork's... I like Bjork. However, Bjork's voice is one that I grow tired of very quickly. She is good at putting herself in different settings and having a complete theme and reason for why she's singing, which can draw you into her world. But if I don't get drawn in, the sound of her voice quickly becomes irritating to me. But God bless Bjork. If I'm forgetting to show something that you sent me, that is very possible. Oh, I am. This was very nice. I think this single came with when you bought a reissue of the whole album. But he gave me the Love, Alone Again, and A House Is Not a Motel single. This is a reissue by the band Love. A great band. I do have the album this came from. Great band. I really appreciate everything you send me. I do. I appreciate everything everyone sends me. And I thought to myself, people respond. I misspoke. I spoke as though I don't have anything by Virgin Prunes. I sold the album. I have some stuff left. What do I have? Let me show it. Some of it. So I probably got some 7-inch. I do have 7-inch singles. They're out there somewhere. Here's some 12-inch singles I still have by the Virgin Prunes. Our Love Will Last Forever Until the Day It Dies. I'm also familiar with the Gavin Friday solo albums. Again, I have to say it because of limited income. A lot of these records I don't have the money to spend to stay up with these artists who I like. Virgin Prunes Pagan Love Song. Yeah, this is really good. Intense stuff. I love this series, A New Form of Beauty. I have 2 of the 3. I think I have the 7-inch still as well. I don't know that I have the 10-inch, but these songs are very highly recommended of the Virgin Prunes catalog. A New Form of Beauty. And then the other 12-inch I have, because I sold the album, is Faculties of the Broken Heart. Virgin Prunes. This is some good stuff. And now that I think about it, I do also have this. I still have this 10-inch box set, Heresy by the Virgin Prunes. This is live. And really interesting packaging. Comes in a box with a lot of graphics and text. Similar to the way that Sordide Sentimental did their releases. And I have some 7-inches by Virgin Prunes as well. So I thought I would just set that straight. You know, I misspoke. I do have Virgin Prunes records in my collection. If I Die, I Die. I wouldn't mind getting a copy of that back on vinyl. The song The Walls of Jericho, fantastic. Some other stuff sitting out that's been played. Jane Weaver, We Are Modern. This is from the 90s. I don't know much about Jane, but I really like this release of hers. We Are Modern. The Japanese psychedelic band Ghost. Masaki Bato. This is a DVD and CD set with some excellent live footage on here. Great band. The guitarist that from this band, who's been touring and playing with Boris for years, is an excellent feature in here. His playing reminds me of the music of Amandul, too. Can't think of his name now. I met him. You Totem, just some excellent progressive rock from America. Emily Hay from the band is a friend of mine on Facebook. We chat a little bit. And this is just excellent. You Totem. One more. I was listening to a couple of records out of my collection that are just long-time ultimate favorites. Philharmony by Hiromi Hosono, the man who started Yellow Magic Orchestra and one of the original rock stars of Japan, if I understand this correctly, or he goes back to the beginnings of Western rock music, infiltrating Japan in the 60s. But he's to me an electronic music pioneer. One of my favorite artists, Hiromi Hosono, and Philharmony from 1982. Excellent album. Another of my favorite albums, jazz, whatever genre, is Wolfgang, well, this is one too, actually, Miroslav Vitou's Infinite Search. I meant to grab this. Free Action by Wolfgang Downer. Recorded in 1967. Downer is a German jazz pianist of the highest order. This album is incredible. He's got Eberhard Weber on bass, Jean-Luc Ponty, Fred Bracewell, and Manny Neumeier from Guru Guru on drums and percussion. Gerd Dudek. This smokes. This is one of my favorite jazz albums of all time. Free Action. Okay, just a little hello today. I mean, I could just always go on and on and on and on. Lots to talk about. Lots to talk about. Always lots to talk about. I'll leave it at that. I want to thank people for. Just want to thank you for accepting me. Thank you. And the VC is big. Ron Anderson actually just started his latest video I find interesting, showing a record that he doesn't think anyone else in the VC would have. I was thinking I would try to respond to that, but I'm going to wait a while, because what I've discovered is that I'll think that I have something obscure, and then I'll find out, well, yeah, other people have this too. I probably do have some records. Well, I know I do, because I have a couple of albums there's only one copy of, and I have a couple of my music. But beyond that, I'm certain that I have something. I think Ron has the right idea. As much music as there in the world, and given that there's really only maybe 1,000 or so, I think there's more than 1,000 people making BC videos. The likelihood that each one of us will have something that no one else in the community has is high. So I'll think about it and about responding to it. Another thread that was going on recently that I didn't respond to, but I love the label, is ECM. So I just wanted to just shout out to the folks who have been showing ECM. Wonderful label. Brings to mind David Horowitz. Just uploaded a new video. He just came from a record show and found a great amount of stuff which he's shown online already. The VC is a wonderful community, and it's a great thing to focus on and share knowledge about and enthusiasm about. For me, this is much preferred to things like guns, which is not to say that guns are bad, but just that we're having such a problem with human behavior when it comes to things like guns. So I'm glad I'm not into guns.